My goodness, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV gossip. And of course, Jeff Lewis and the Jeff Lewis After Show, which my name was mentioned. I was just dying. So we will get into all the things. And of course, I will explain why I'm still in my jammies from last night, which now takes on a whole other meeting because I was so freaking busy today. And obviously, when a caller calls into the Jeff Lewis After Show about me, why do I feel like my camera is wonky on TikTok? Sorry, y'all, it's distracting me because y'all know I'm type A. Okay, I think it's all good. Anyway, so that got me all in a tizzy. And of course, anyways, let's chat about it all. Okay, so yesterday I was live on Femme Tarot. Her name is Natalie. She lives in Greece, and she invited me a few weeks ago to be on her podcast. And I have never had my tarot cards read. So, I explained to her, hey, I'm fine doing this, but you're going to have to explain to me. Like, I don't know what these cards mean. I don't know what, astrology is. I just know I'm Aries. I share the same birthday as Jeff Lewis, although he's 3 years older than me. And so she, said, okay, I'll explain everything. We got into a lot of stuff. It's a super fun live that is up on her account. I've shared it everywhere. Femme Tarot, FEMMETAROT. She is amazing. She also does readings. So check out femtarot.com for her rates virtually. Anyway, so we do that. All things are great. Whatever, we have a good time. Also, when I tell you big things are happening, it is amazing. I'm so excited and I'm so beyond grateful to share all of this fun fan account stuff with y'all. But a week or so ago, or the other day, I recorded with the Sarah Fraser show. So that podcast dropped today. So I was busy this morning promoting both of those, as I would do for anyone that invite. I should have worn a bra. Oh my God. I'm dying that I forgot to put on a bra. Like, oh my God. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. I want to push them up. Okay. Yeah. Holy crap. I'm dying. Okay. Anyway, there's a reason I'm in my jammies other than just being busy, but I meant to put on a freaking bra. Okay. Hold on. Nothing I can do about it now because I'm upstairs and I'm pretty sure none of my teenage daughter's bras will fit these big honking titties. Okay. So just don't look. I know. Oh my God. You can see them everywhere on every podcast. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Sorry, I'm distracted. Okay, so I was on the Sarah Fraser podcast, but then today I'm listening to the after show, and as always, I'm a little bit delayed. And a friend texted me and she said, oh my God, they're talking about you on the after show. Well, sometimes they talk about me on the after shows, and it's other people calling in, like someone did before, to bitch and moan about me or try to throw shade at me, which Ryan Bailey and Joey Zalzig completely defended me, which I was so thankful for. But on today's show, someone named Caller Gigi from La Quinta, who I don't even know who it is. I have an idea. I do know a Gigi. It didn't sound like her, though. I've met her twice now, I think. So, and she didn't DM me, hey, I called in to the show about you. Anyway, she kind of had it wrong. It wasn't live on my Instagram. I was up on Femme Tarot's live YouTube, and she did a mini reading for me at the very end. But I guess in the world of tarot cards and psychics, you can ask people about other people. So I asked her if she thought Jeff Lewis would have another baby. And then I asked what she thought if he would be single or coupled up already by the time his March 24th birthday rolls around. So she answered all those questions. She is a huge Jeff Lewis fan. So she knows all the stuff. Even though she lives in Greece, she is not able to get the Sirius XM app. So it was so funny because she said, oftentimes I have to rely on you because I can't listen to Jeff Lewis. And when they take down his copyright infringement, YouTube channels that he has nothing to do with, that those are all copyright infringement. When they take those down, people worldwide have to, rely on Jeff Lewis Obsessed to get all the latest information because they can't get the Sirius XM app. Anyway, so she is a big Jeff Lewis fan. So she had her thoughts on Chef Stew. She tells us, go and listen. I can't get into all of it, but she definitely says if she thinks Jeff and Stu will have another attempt at their love life. She says if Jeff will be single or coupled up by his birthday, March 24th. So it was really fun. There's a lot of fun topics on there, but I could not believe that someone called in to the after show and all he said was, did you hear about Sarah doing a tarot reading about you? She didn't even have to say my name. And the fact that Jeff Lewis knows when he hears the name Sarah, that someone he automatically knows it's Sarah from Texas, and it's me that runs the Jeff Lewis Obsessed fan account. I was dying. Now, obviously, I've met him so many times, but it just warmed my heart that he instantly knew who she was talking about. And he was so interested in what the tarot card reader said. So it was amazing. So go check that out. It is on Fem Tarot's YouTube account. I've also linked it on my Instagram at Jeff Lewis Obsessed. So it's in my stories. Go to look there. And I think I did it as a post also, but I might be thinking of the Sarah Fraser show. Also, our podcast with the Sarah Fraser show is so good. She dug deep, y'all. She asked me a lot of questions that I've never been asked before, that I've never answered before. It was so good. We have become fast friends. I adore her so much. And you will hear me talk about her very soon, because the reason I'm in my pajamas is because very soon I will be launching a separate podcast. It will be once a week. And I hope to interview lots of fun people, chumps, reality TV stars, other podcasters, other content creators that I love, all sorts of different subjects. And I want to be comfy in my pajamas. So that is the reason I'm in my pajamas right now. There is a reason that I have no makeup on. My hair's in a ponytail as if I'm getting ready for bed, because I really want to make my guest comfortable. And I think you're the most comfortable, the most honest, and the most talkative when you're comfy in your pajamas. So I hope you look forward to that. That will be announced very soon. It will be a free podcast. Don't worry. It will be available on YouTube and available as a podcast. I don't think I'm going to put it up everywhere else because it's really much harder to put on all the social media aspects. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I'm thinking the name will be Sarah from Texas, or Sarah in her jammies with, and then whatever the guest name. So y'all give me ideas. Y'all have always given me really good ideas, but I definitely want your feedback about that. I'm just dying. Also, more good news. My January 20th live event more information is coming out very soon about that. Lots of fun people are going to be there. Lots of your favorite content creators that are in the LA area. So I will be announcing all of that. They will be sharing it all very soon. So I am so excited. I just got the list of people who have gotten hotel rooms because they wanted to, the SLS Beverly Hills wanted to make sure that I was aware that when one day we met the criteria for the block of rooms. So my credit card will not be used on anyone's card, which is great news, right? No offense, but I was making sure that, I would meet the minimum so I wouldn't be charged for any extra rooms, but that has all been met. But the best part, y'all, most people are staying Friday night through Sunday, 2 nights. So we are going to have so much fun. Make sure you're in the Jeff Lewis Obsessed Facebook group. That is the best way to shout out Natalie from Fem Tarot. I see you over in Greece. Big things are happening at the Jeff Lewis Obsessed world. Thank you so much. It was so fun to be on your podcast. You're amazing and a true girl's girl. And I can't wait to chat with you again Wednesday about something else. So thank you so much for being awesome. So on January 20th, I love that a lot of us are making a whole weekend out of it. Chumpettes unite. You are not going to regret this. What you are going to regret is not buying your ticket now. A few tickets are still left at my Instagram link, at my TikTok link, at my YouTube. If you don't have the link, send me a DM on Instagram. I will shoot it over to you. I'll probably promote it again today. But also, I think you can still book a hotel at the hotel link SLS, and that is on the ticket information. So when you go to Eventbrite, the hotel information is there for $319 plus tax per night. It is going to make your weekend staying at the hotel with us, I promise. I've got a whole itinerary for Saturday morning of all of us going to the Chaz Dean's salon in LA. He is going to be out of town, but he's welcomed us in. He knows that we're going to get a tour of the place. It's going to be amazing. It's even more beautiful than we ever saw and experienced on Flipping Out. It is a beautiful salon inside and out. You will not want to miss it. That is free. We will also be going to Pola 2 Boutique. Paul and Patrick will be there. We were going to be going to lunch together in Beverly Hills. That's, of course, on your own dime. And then the show is 4 to 6 p.m. in West Hollywood. And then we'll go to, that's another reason I'm in my pajamas. It woke up to rain all day long. So what a perfect day to be in your jammies all day, right? It's raining again. And then we'll go to dinner afterwards. And then we will probably go to High Tops, Schmitty's, Tom Tom for a drink or two. And then we will land at the Speakeasy. I think it's called Wing in a Wig. It's something about Alice in Wonderland. It's a beautiful speakeasy inside the SLS Beverly Hills Hotel. It is going to be a weekend you won't want to miss. So make plans now. I know it's not easy to get to LA if you don't already live there, but you are going to have so much FOMO. In 2024 is a year of no regrets, right? So make it happen. I promise you won't want to miss it. We are already chatting so much fun stuff. Everyone is getting to know each other better. If you're an Instagram subscriber, a Royal Chumpette, if you are, there's a chat for that is so fun. There's a chat for the January 20th event. It is going to be amazing. Chumpettes unite for sure. It's going to be so fun. Yes, Natalie says it was storming during their live last night, our live in because she lives in Greece. It was amazing. She's so beautiful, so fun to talk to. And she really explained everything to me because I let her know, look, I don't know anything about tarot cards. I've never had this done. So she really explained, and it really made sense how spontaneous I am as an Aries. And she was also talking about other moons and my risings and all this other stuff. But I've always been spontaneous. So for people to say, oh, why is she doing this fan account? But I literally make decisions in about 24 hours. I really don't think too hard about them. You know, life is short. I've always been this way. So y'all are just seeing the 49-year-old, now 50-year-old version of me in experiencing. But I've always been this way. Ask my family and friends. Actually, don't. Stay out of my family and friends. Anyways, okay, let's get into that. I think I've talked about everything today. Carney Wilson and Pej Vidot. I love them together so much. Not sure I loved. Okay, well, we'll get into it. They do talk about Jeff's birthday. They do talk about Carney baking some peanut butter cheesecake or something today, some peanut butter cup something or other. Y'all, she has been on a health kick for like months. She's not eating gluten, sugar, something else. She has lost a lot of weight and is obviously making herself much healthier. So I'm very proud of her for that. I personally don't think I could bake things and not eat them. So I am beyond amazed at her willpower to be able to do that and bring these desserts to other chumps because I could not do that. But I love it. Jeff shares with everyone. Obviously, he and I share a birthday, March 24th, and Shannon Bador, that he just loves a simple yellow boxed cake with chocolate frosting. Oh my God. I mean, add a couple of scoops of ice cream to that, and that is one of my favorite desserts. Now, I have a lot of favorite desserts because sugar is definitely my friend. So yellow cake and chocolate frosting is just one of my favorite things. But I love that he is so simple that way. Like I can see Jeff, as much as he goes out and has, you know, a wedge salad and steak and all this stuff, at the heart of it, I think he's like a steak and potatoes kind of dude. Don't you feel like? It's crazy. Yeah, something else. Victoria Winter said that he saw on Behind the Velvet Rope, David Yontef mentioned that he spoke with me about Jeff. Yeah, I love David Yontef. And another spoiler for not a spoiler, but exciting thing. He will be one of the people at my January 20th event. So will Sarah Fraser. Oh my gosh, so many people. Colt Paulson. Oh my gosh, I've got the list downstairs. I'm dying. Zach Peter. So just stay tuned for all the fun. That's not even everything you're waiting on. I know what y'all are waiting on, the big people. And trust me, that will be announced very soon. So stay tuned. But grab your ticket because there's only a few left and you're going to be left having FOMO, fear of missing out. Anyways, okay. They talk about Monroe. Okay, at 7 years old, she already knows she doesn't want to give birth. Like, okay, I have four daughters and one son. So, yeah, they're almost 14 up to 22. By now, each of them have told me, oh, I'd like to have two kids. I'd like to have three kids. I want to have four kids. You know, kids always talk about that kind of stuff. I don't think at 7 my kids had made the decision if they wanted to give birth or not. So maybe this is because she comes from two gay fathers who clearly have not been able to give birth to her. So maybe she's aware of that already. And so she thinks about it more. I thought that was very interesting. What do you think? Do your kids, do you remember if they're older than 7, did they talk about whether or not they wanted to give birth or not? Like, I just don't think my kids had said that kind of stuff that for sure. Yes. Oh, I love these ideas y'all are getting. Yes, Felicia says, I love Zach Peter. Me too. He's amazing and been so helpful to me. So I really appreciate it. Aries Unite. I love that for sure. I love that. Femme Tarot is priceless. She's amazing. And she also does private reading. So book her on femtarot for sure.com. What else? Okay. So Jeff was talking about his weekend with Monroe. Obviously, he's got his favorite. So clearly Friday night, it didn't take a genius to realize they were at Schmitty's. I mean, it's so obvious for anyone that's been to Schmitty's like I have a couple of times. So I knew where they were. So even though Shane was saying for people, don't come find us, anyone in the area, I am almost positive a chump or two showed up to surprise them or see them in the wild for sure. Nobody has let me know, but I'm sure they did. But Jeff is a creature of habit for darn sure. So he goes to Javier's, he goes to Century City, he goes to the same places with Monroe. So he goes to this Bluey exhibit and he was disappointed by it. It sounded so similar because when the ice cream museum, I think it's called, or the Museum of Ice Cream, whatever that, corny place is, I had my kids in New York City for Christmas of 2019 for that. And we booked a very exclusive, very expensive, I think it was 2019. Yeah. For the Museum of Ice Cream in New York City. And it was so freaking lame. I mean, there was a couple of points where you could take like cute Instagram pictures and stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, they had you in these little rooms for an allotted amount of time. You couldn't leave earlier. You couldn't get there early. I just thought for the money, I would have done things a lot better. Now, the best thing about it, I remembered, is that the whole thing was pink, like this amazing bubblegum pink. The bathroom was pink. It was really beautiful. So, I mean, I do love a pink, but I remember the tickets were so hard to get. It was so brand new at the time. I think now they're nationwide if it didn't die out. But now there's like Museum of Crayons or the Color Museum, all these little pop-up things that happen. I just love that Jeff is honest with us and doesn't care if he says things were disappointing. Like he doesn't get a free ticket from Bluey, so he's not promoting it. It was nothing like, what Carney was going to do over the weekend and visit Disneyland. And that was like a promotional type thing, even though she got sick and couldn't go. But Jeff, because he doesn't take free like ads or trade outs, whatever you want to call it, I feel like he's able to be very honest with us. And it's kind of the same thing with me. Somebody DM'd me and said, does Jeff pay you to talk about the after show? And I was like, no one pays me to talk about anything or to not talk about anything. Now, I'm not saying I'm not open for sale because I absolutely am. I think I'm, able to market things. So call me. But no, I have no relationship like that with Jeff or any of the chumps or SiriusXM. That's why I'm able to keep a healthy distance and talk about things like whether I like what he says or whether I don't. Like I have no obligation to suck up to them. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes me more real. Like I don't have any reason to suck up to them or say if I think, I need to say things or not. So I love that he gave a true, uh, review, I guess, of you sorts of the Bluey thing. So they did talk about their birthdays. They keep saying Shane's birthday. It was Dougie's birthday too. So happy belated. For some reason, I mean, I posted my birthday thing for Shane on his birthday, January 5th. I posted my birthday reels everywhere for Doug on January 6th. But I had 2 DMs asking me, hey, don't forget today is Doug's birthday. I know you haven't made a reel for him yet. I'm like, I only posted 1 or 2 pictures of me and Shane, although I have a lot more. I found every single picture I've ever taken of me and Doug and made like a reel. It's like 8 seconds on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And I still had people saying, why haven't you made a reel about him? And I'm like, I don't know. Are you not looking at it? Like, it was so weird for sure. Yes, joyful I'm Karen says exactly. You don't sugarcoat it. You talk about don't sugarcoat for Jeff's benefit. Good day from Australia, Raquel. Love that. Thank you, Lisa. Crafty Dodger says, I saw your Doug reel and it was delightful. What else? Oh my God. Can you believe that Jeff broke up with Chef Harrison on the freaking radio? So we learned on the after show that he had not even talked to Chef Harrison yet. He's been on 4 dates with him, introduced him to all of the chomps. He brought him to they went to dinner at Isabel's, probably a very nice romantic dinner, I'm sure of it, expensive. And then they joined in for Doug and Shane's birthdays at Schmitty's. He spent the night. They went to this other bar together. And then on Monday morning, he tells 12 of his closest listeners, I mean, thousands of us, that it's just not for him. And he feels like he's wasting his time. So when the after show, someone calls in, probably a friend of Chef Harrison, if you know what I mean. It sounded like a friend. And he was basically like, have you talked to Chef Harrison? Have you talked to Harrison about this? And Jeff's like, no, but I'm going to call him right after. And you can hear Alyssa in the background going, you've got to call him immediately. You just told us on the Jeff Lewis live show that it wasn't going to work out and you needed to end things with him because y'all weren't on the same place in your life. You know, he's 32, Jeff is 53. So Jeff was 21 years old when Harrison was born. So, you know, it makes sense that Jeff feels like they're just not in the same place. And he even goes on to say that it's just not right. It would be disrespectful of him to keep dragging Harrison along on a 5th date because he knows it's just not going to work out. And he feels like that's just not the right thing to do. And Jeff is a nice person. But I'm like, oh my God, you know. And then I think Joey said, oh, he's not on Instagram. I'm like, yes, he is. Y'all found him instantly. So as you know, I'll remind you, Jeff met Chef Harrison at the season 2 Hollywood House of premiere party. He was a friend of somebody that came. I don't remember seeing Chef Harrison at all or meeting him, but somebody instantly sent me his Instagram where he had captioned something I thought was kind of corny with the Hollywood House lift step and repeat sign behind him. And he was holding an orange, or maybe he said, no, I don't think he was holding an orange because why would he have an orange with him on that night? But anyways, he said something, his caption said something like, all I need is an orange, basically to be a housewife, right? So he was definitely given a reference to, you know, being a housewife or something like that. So I don't know, you know, like a lot of us, I scrolled through his Instagram. I mean, I didn't love it for Jeff, but that's not my business, right? I mean, if Jeff asked my advice, which I do have his phone number now, so you know, I would definitely give it to him, but I didn't get the best vibe. But you know, that's for Jeff to deal with. Like, I feel like there's a hi Luna, hi Looney Tunes. My co-host is she's stretching. My co-host has joined me. I feel like there's a season and a reason for friends, relationships. So, I mean, spoiler alert, I probably don't ever see Jeff Lewis being married or with someone for the next, you know, 50. Well, is he going to live to 103? Probably not. Anyways, 40 years, 30 years, whatever he's going to live to forever, I hope. I see Jeff being in the moment and in love with whoever he is, whether that's 10 months or 10 years. I don't like to look at things as if it's a failure. I feel like if he's happy, if he wakes up happy and if he's enjoying himself with someone, I don't judge it as a failure for not lasting any certain length of time. You know, I also feel that way with marriages. I mean, clearly I've been married 23 years. I have seen a lot of friends go through divorces by now. I don't feel like that's a negative thing. I don't feel like it's a failure. I feel like that marriage worked for you for 17 years. The worst part of it is if you stay in that marriage for 27 years. So if 10 of those years weren't working for you and you just stayed in it, that to me is the negative part, not the fact that you ended up not being married forever. So I think Jeff needs to get it out of his brain that he needs this long-term whatever. I feel like whatever length of time he's happy for with a person, I think he's always going to look for the next grass is greener. I think he is always thinking there's something better out there or just wondering how it is. I think he could be, I want to say these people that are like addicted to love, but I think there's a newness about a relationship that is probably very enticing for a lot of people. And even though Jeff likes to be monogamous, I feel like he can have a successful, happy relationship and it doesn't have to necessarily last him for a lifetime. Does that make sense? So anyways, but I'm not a psychic. Yeah, for sure. I love what y'all are saying in comments. And I love when y'all get comfy in comments. It's so fun. So fun. Thank you for tapping the screen on TikTok. I appreciate it though. Cheryl says he's getting older though. The crop of prospects dwindle. I mean, oh, Looney. She's like scratching and laying out on the carpet. You're so cute. Why are you so cute, Looney? Looney Tunes. Tell me what nicknames you have for your pets. Like she's Luna, but she's always been Luna Boona Poona, Looney Tunes, Luna Boona. Gosh, what are all my nicknames for her? It's everything but Luna. Isn't that funny? I know y'all probably call your dogs and pets something other than their real name. Lady Gray says if Jeff is attracting 30 somethings, the prospects is still to be good. Yeah. I mean, Jeff has an age range, right? So he's definitely he's hot. I mean, give me a break. He's so hot. He's so charismatic. He's so rich. He's so powerful. I mean, people are attracted to money, power, and looks. I mean, hello, he's got everything. And he's a spell like 195-ish right now, or maybe even 190. Maybe he didn't gain any weight over the weekend. Anyways, I just thought it was so funny. Later, he references the caller, Joan, from a couple of days ago, where he says he needs to level up. And I think that just made him think maybe Chef Harrison isn't where he wants his partner to be in life. So he feels like, it's fine having fun with a lot of people, but he is trying to narrow down people that he doesn't see as long-term. And so he's just kind of get them out of the way early, which I think sometimes could take 4 dates. Sometimes you can know in 1 date. Sometimes it might take 7 or 8 dates to figure that out, right? Especially if other people are bringing their person and their representative instead of their real person, right? As Jeff says, Dr. Donna says it takes 6 months to do that. So crazy. What else? Oh, he did talk about Kian. So Kian was and he was tagged in Shane's birthday party, Shane and Doug's birthday parties. Jeff thinks he's missing the Jeff Lewis live drama from the house. So like he says his new job is kind of boring. I mean, can you imagine being paid to hang out with Jeff Lewis, hang out and witness Aurora, hang out and witness Lily and Nanny Lisa and Monroe. I mean, Shane and Jeff, like OMG, like that has got to be a dream job. So I don't know. People come back in. Jeff definitely rebuilds bridges. I don't know. Do you like the new guy, Sam? He certainly hasn't been incorporated in the videos and in conversations. Maybe he doesn't hang out with Jeff personally. He's just keeping this very professional. I don't know. I kind of love, and I think Jeff does too, I like when Jeff incorporates his employees into his show and into the content, because that to me is very interesting. So I'm definitely noticing, Dames Who Dish, I love y'all, says Jeff needs someone he can control. I do not disagree with you. I don't want to use the word control in a negative way, but I think there's always, I don't think, and you tell me, because it's probably Ann or Gina. Well, I don't know if it's Ann or Gina that's on, because y'all both run Dames Who Dish, but y'all have both been married a long time like I have. Respectfully so, I think there's always an unequal part of the marriage. I think there's always at different times somebody giving 60% and someone giving 40%. and that can shift in the marriage or the relationship. Shout out Gina. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's a negative thing. I just do think that there's different power cycles of relationships. And I definitely think Jeff likes to be in control. He likes to make the dinner plans. He likes to decide on vacations. He likes to pay for them. He very much is old school and likes to pay for dinners. Like he would absolutely, I mean, unless it was like Amazon, unless it was like somebody that definitely had the control of him and like was, supposed to pay, I don't feel like Jeff would ever let someone else pay for a dinner, right? I think if it's someone like Amazon or a Fresh is taking him out, then he knows, oh, this is kind of on a corporate dinner and they're the ones kind of treating me. But other than that, I definitely don't think Jeff would let someone pay for dinner or a boyfriend make plans for a hotel. Or I think he does like a surprise, though. Don't forget when he and Scott were on the outs and Scott booked a ticket to New York City and surprised Jeff. Jeff loved that. And also, what's the movie that's his favorite movie? Is it called The Crown Affair? What's the movie that's his favorite movie? It's all about somebody surprising you. That's Jeff Lewis's favorite movie ever. So, oh my God, I'm missing so many good comments. By the way, the comments stay up on the YouTube feed. It says live chat, so you can see all the comments there. Thomas Crown, the Thomas Crown Affair. That's what it's called, right? That's his favorite movie. Yes. Oh, I love it. It's her favorite too. It was saying this. I was surprised to hear Jeff say that Megan still talks with Brandy and Julie. No, no, no. If you listen closely, you know. So he talked about on the after show because Joey, and we'll talk about it in a second, Joey talks about Saturday night, he ran into Brandy Howard, Julie Goldman, and Chef Stu at Schmitty's. So I mean, there's lots of places to go in WeHo, but I think if you go to Schmitty's, you're going to run into or see people that you know. Absolutely, for sure. Oh, absolutely, Kathy. Prayers for you. Thank you. Anyways, but Jeff's got a long list of guys. Tell me if I miss anyone. The successful, busy guy that he hasn't really told us much about. The chiropractor James in Chicago. He hasn't nixed him yet that we know of. Tequila and Red Bull guy. That's the guy he's known for like 5 years, and they've been in and out of each other's lives on pauses, which Jeff hasn't really admitted to many pauses. I mean, it was like 12 hours between the Scott breakup and Chef Stu and them's first date on a Sunday, mind you, at High Tops. And Scott broke up with him Saturday night, gave him like a list of 10 reasons saying, dude, you got to change all this or I won't be with you. And Jeff was like, I'm down, you're out. Who else? Chef Harrison is done. The African-American guy in New York City. I feel like there's a couple of guys in New York City that he's got in his back pocket that he hasn't exactly told us everything about. But, Jeff was kind of uncomfortable. Joey was definitely uncomfortable. I think Carney gave her, Carney's still really good friends, I think, with Chef Stu. So she gave her kind of opinions on Jeff dating and younger guys or not. She definitely is against him. No, I take that back. She actually was defending his break or saying maybe you shouldn't break up with Chef Harrison because he's only 21 years younger than you, but maybe in 10 years that won't even mean anything to you. I think she was saying eventually, if you really like him and you're having fun, it won't really matter, the age difference. I do think the age difference matters, and I think it's very important. But Jeff was definitely wondering if his name came up in conversation, and I would gamble Jeff's name absolutely came up with Brandy and Julie and Stu. I mean, trauma bonding, I don't know. Who knows? They did talk about, and Jeff also said about relationships, I struggle with relationships, but it's not me. I'm like, oh my God, all this therapy, and you're not going to take any responsibility for the drama in your relationships? Like, come on, Jeff, like take a little bit, own a little bit of it. I don't know. Oh my goodness. They talk about the Golden Globes. I did not watch it, not my thing. I've seen lots of information. Matter of fact, my friend Donna Bowling gave kind of a recap on her Instagram. This is Donna Bowling. And she was talking about Joe Coy. Now, I saw Joe Coy open for Fortune Feimster at the Irvine Improv, January of 2023. I thought he was very funny. I don't know how I feel about somebody pretty much having your jokes bomb, and he blamed the writers that wrote for him on the Golden Globes, like kind of breaking the fourth wall almost. But I won't go back and waste my time watching it, but I'm kind of curious. Like, I want to see people in the audience's like reactions or like the not laughing. Yes, Victoria Winter says it was a snooze fest. It's just not my thing. Like, I've never wasted my time with the Golden Globes. Maybe when I was little on Sunday nights, I would totally watch the Academy Awards, whichever one is the big movie one. And I pretty much waited to the end and watched all the big, the best actor of the year and all that kind of stuff. The big movie of the year. Yeah, Sheryl Crow on TikTok. Scott gave him a list of 10 things that Jeff needed to change about himself on a Saturday night. And then Jeff was like, we're done. Like, clearly. 3.5 hours of your life you won't get back. I'm so glad I didn't watch it. So glad. Okay, tomorrow on Jeff Lewis Live is Taylor Armstrong and Doug. This might be the first time she's been on since no. Has she been on since she was officially not invited back? I do think she's been on once since that, because they definitely talked about that. I feel like somebody in comments remind me if she was. Yeah, Kathy Farron, exactly. I know I would not be happy with a list of what I have to do. I mean, in some ways, do you need a physical? I mean, I don't know. I think we all have things that we would love for our partners to change about themselves. But I think the biggest thing about going into a marriage or a long-term relationship is realizing you're getting that person as they are. For the most part, as a grown-ass adult, unless you meet someone at 14 and they change and evolve, most people aren't going to change big things about themselves. Like, so you got to kind of love them for what they are. You know what I mean? So anyways, okay, let's talk about the dog jizz of it all. Oh my God. So if you follow Joey Zalzig, you know, he and Brian, his husband, are dog owners to, oh my God, Tuxedo. And he always says Tuxedo's name. Maybe he has a favorite. They have 2 pugs. Anyways, he basically admits that his dogs aren't fixed, because I guess it's really hard for pugs to go under because of their breathing and all this. Winston, yes, thank you, Winston. But I do think he loves Tuxedo the most. I don't know. Anyways, but he says they are not fixed because of putting them under. They are about to get them fixed now. They're almost 2 years old. But he hugged him goodbye this morning, and his dog like left some jizz on his shirt, and he didn't change his shirt because he said he just now realized it. Alyssa went off on him. French bulldogs. I said pugs. French bulldogs is what they are. I knew that. I'm thinking of pugs because my friend Melanie, who invited me to the $10,000 Jeff Lewis dinner, has a pug named Sophie. Anyways, so they talk about the dog jizz on his shirt, which was disgusting. It was, by the way, it was Carrie Lewis, Jeff's sister-in-law, and Joey Zalzig on today. Then they talked about dogs sleeping in your bed. I agree. Luna is 82 pounds of deliciousness. We have a California king bed. We have no other pets. We have a white bedding. Everything is white on our bed except for a little pink accent. And she did not sleep on our bed for the first 15 months. We have a huge full-size couch in our bedroom. We have 2 beds. We have a crate. I mean, she has so many options. She has a rug she loves to sleep on top of the hardwood floors. She's got options. The first time we let her on our bed at 15 months, my husband thought it was so cute and so sweet. And I was like, oh my God, the hair, because she's a black lab. Her hair is thick. I mean, you get a lab hair, but I don't know, maybe black hair is, Chaz Dean has 2 yellow labs, Bella and Riley, and I've met them. They are so soft, probably because they have the Wind products. They are so much softer than my Luna's hair. Her hairs are very coarse. I mean, if you get one of those in your eyeball, and my husband has allergies, but there is no turning back once you do that. And, apparently Carrie doesn't allow her dogs on her bed. She's got big dogs. Joey definitely lets his dogs on his bed, and we obviously let Luna on our beds for sure. Krista says, how do you deal with the dog hair? So many breeds shed. Well, not all my life, since I've been an adult, since I bought my first house in 1997, I've had a housekeeper. So at that point, I had no kids, no husband. I had her like once a month, maybe even never once every 2 months, because I'm very clean, very organized, what have you. But at the time, as years went on, I had a housekeeper every 2 weeks. And now, when we got Luna 3.5 years ago, just over 3 years ago, I increased our housekeeper to every week, and she loves Luna. So, because our floors, our bedroom, not our bedroom, it's wood. The kitchen is like a brown wood tile, but our bathroom is white and gray, like slate or whatever that is. So you see the black hair everywhere, and it grosses me out. But I also want my bedding changed out once a week. I was washing my sheets twice a week most of the time, unless an accident happened with a baby, which we haven't had a baby in the house in so long. But now I do it once a week, which don't get on me for that, because I don't care how often you change your bed sheets. I can't stand doing it. We're not nasty people. I used to have it done every 2 weeks. So there. But now I have it once a week because of Luna. Yes, cats get hair on everything too. Yeah, I can imagine for sure. Kathy, you change your bedding every other day? Like you yourself? Now, if I was Oprah told me on her show, obviously, a couple years ago, that she has hers changed every 4 to 5 days. But I'm like, yeah, you got someone doing it for you. I don't think most people change every few days. Ew, if you have messy sex, ew. No. We're very tidy in that department. Years of experience, to come prepared before the event. Kleenex, yeah. Yeah, we're not going to go into those details. Every other day, I can't stand changing a bed. I do not iron my sheets either, and I don't ask my housekeeper to iron for sure. Yes, Chris Courts remembers Oprah saying that. She likes her sheets crisp. I like my sheets soft. Let me know in comments if you like soft sheets, or if you could afford it, or if you do afford it. I know there's a lot of rich chumpettes. If you have your sheets ironed for you, oh my God, I can't even imagine. You do yours once a week, but dream is 2 times a week. No, I don't care. Even with we pull up our bed, so the actual fitted sheet doesn't get the hair on it, because we pull up our bed every morning, make the bed. Chaz has, are they golden retrievers? Are you sure they're not yellow labs? I've met his dogs, and they look more like a lab than they do a golden retriever, but maybe I'm wrong. He's had a lot of dogs, and I'm not a queen on dogs. What else? Go listen to the after show. Jeff definitely chats a lot about Stu, a lot about Gage, the differences in their relationships, and then obviously caller Gigi calling in about my show, which was amazing, or my podcast with Femme Tarot. So make sure you go listen to that for sure. We are going to wrap things up. If you missed my huge announcement towards the beginning, go back and watch the replay. I'll explain why I'm in my pajamas. It's some very fun news. Stay tuned. Make sure you're following me everywhere on Jeff Lewis Obsessed, and commenting, liking, sharing with everyone. If you are lucky enough to have a reality TV fan or friend or someone that actually knows Jeff Lewis, I feel like we're like this secret society or something. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Anyway, so I will see y'all tomorrow. Same place, same time, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern. Bye. Oh, I can't. My fingers won't do it.